don't follow trends, we own them. This is fusion. This is the mothership. Real you, real power. Let's go. As a mothership alive, we rise in the night, built from the chains where others lost sight. As our microgrids pulsing, real yield and fly. Our fusion is fire, the future's inside. As a mothership online, we rise in the night, built from the chains where others lost sight. As our microgrids pulsing, real yield and fly. Our fusion is fire. This is real life. No JPEG promising, no clickbait clones. We own the code, the vault, the zones. Stack that yield, no Ponzi tones. Just smart contracts and bulletproof bones. NFTs that print, yeah, pass it pays. Fusion built it in silent days. Now we shine, no delays. Bomb flows hot like DexFi blaze. Vol burns rising on plasma stats. ESHARE drops, yeah, we like that. Low supply, no inflation gains. Mercury earns, that's that fee flames. There's a mothership online. We rise in the night. Built from the chains where others lost sight. I can make a grids pulsing. Real yield and flight. The fusion is fire. The future's in sight. There's a mothership online. We rise in the night. Built from the chains where others lost sight. I can make a grids pulsing. Real yield and flight. The fusion is fire. This is real life. Remember the signs, we broke it loud. They laughed at the fight, we built a crowd. No VCs, no ties, only freedom and yield that multiplies. Microgrid stacked like royalty rights. Each one's income day and night. No click to earn, no empty spin. Fusion plays the long-term win. Minted points, that's yesterday. Now it's yield every time you stay. The bonds pay in pure reward. Any share hits that scoreboard. From DexFi.com to the Plascore. Every transaction fuels us more. We earn, we rise, we own. Welcome aboard, welcome home. Was your mothership online? We rise in the night. Love built from the chains where others lost sight. Watch your microgrids pulsing. Real yield and flight. The fusion is fire. The future's in sight. Was your mothership online? We rise in the night. Love built from the chains where others lost sight. Watch your microgrids pulsing. Real yield and flight. The fusion is fire. This is real life.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to the impromptu special edition AMA today with some old friends. I'm going to introduce them now. We're going to go into it, so make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and share this out to our community and all your networks. But today we're going to be doing a deep dive into TRU2X, and you guys have probably heard me talking about this for a while now. Obviously, we have some deep connections on Pulse, and now TRU2X actually integrating part of our yield engine, and we have a lot to go over. So, but before that, I want to kind of introduce everybody. Obviously, we have Neil with TRU2X. A lot of you maybe recognize him. Some people may not see Daniel all that much, but Daniel is the other co-founder. And, the crazy part is I've known Daniel now for probably 10 years in crypto. We go way back to some old crypto projects together. Our original dev, Jake, with EMP, working on some projects together. So it's funny how it all comes together. And, what we've all learned and what you guys hear me talk about, which I'm sure both of you guys are going to go into, is really just figuring out what works and what doesn't in crypto. And one of those things is real yield, and layering real yield onto a protocol that already has really killer economics is really the special sauce. So, Neil, Daniel, I don't know if you guys want to introduce yourselves as well, give us a little bit of background, and then we'll jump into TRU2X. We'll talk about maybe some market conditions as well, and we'll end with some other alpha. So,
Yeah.
Sure.
Good evening. Good morning. Neil, go ahead.
No, sure. We're good. Yeah. Good evening. Good morning. I'm Neil for T-Shares, one of the founders of TrueDeFi.io. And I've been around a while. Those of you know me, I started out doing a lot of videos about Tetra and stuff like that, and learning about DeFi in the DeFi space and what makes DeFi tick and what makes good smart contracts and good systematic design to earn yield in crypto. And so that's been my specialty, and understanding the metrics, macros, as well as the mechanics that we all need to think about when it comes to making money and using the DeFi tools as a replacement for the traditional finance model that we're all trying to escape. And so in this journey, Daniel and I and Executioner, our devs, we came together and we decided, let's put our heads together. Let's come up with a better way. There's got to be a better way than what we see out there. And after over 2 years of development and a whole lot of blood, sweat, tears, and hair pulling, and a whole lot of spreadsheets, TRU2X was born of that.
Yeah. Indeed, a lot of spreadsheets. Good morning, good evening, everyone. Daniel here. That's my real name. Hello, AJ. Thank you for having us. And that's a great intro, by the way. I really like it. It's exciting. It's good. And very crisp. It's true. We know for quite a while, and we actually were in protocols together where we thought they're pretty much on the ceiling of what's the zeitgeist, what is possible. But yet all the protocols or products where we were, they were lacking one thing: external yield. If you don't have external yield, you don't have a turnover. You need to have a product that you can basically market. Then with the product, you can have revenues, and that can be the solution. So we had all of us, Neil as well, and everyone else is in the process of trial and error, what works, what not. And I believe that this trilogy, or two parties actually, we found the source and the source actually to make crypto sustainable and to bring intrinsic value by the definition of the economics by bringing real yield from outside to our ecosystems. And I think this is why we are sitting here today, and have this conversation.
Yeah, no doubt. I love it, Daniel. And again, I mean, it's something that all of us have been preaching for a long time. We integrate it in our protocols, but you guys do it in a very different way, which I like. I mean, we've always experimented with this, again, real yield, but in your protocol, you take it this step further of basically capping the upside. And I know that sounds bad on the surface, but in terms of sustainability and really good economics, it's super, super powerful. So I guess let's start there. Neil or Daniel, I don't know if either of you want to share the screen, but let's start with kind of a high-level overview of what TRU2X is. Again, the other really cool thing is, yes, you're on Pulse, and obviously we have deep connections in Pulse, and we want Pulse to succeed, but you don't necessarily have to be a Pulse maxi to utilize the protocol, because with this 2x mechanism, 2x and leave if you want. So maybe kind of go over all that again. I think that's a good place to start.
Sure.
All right, let me pull up the screen. There you go. Can we see it? Yeah.
All right.
All right. Go ahead.
All right, Daniel, I'll let you give us the 30-second elevator pitch, and I'll go over some of the stuff on my screen if you want to do that.
So, learning from the past. We developed a protocol where people can deposit a gas token, the gas token of a chain. It doesn't matter which chain it is at the end. In this case, Pulse chain, it is worked with PLS. Why? Because that helps us to prevent any devaluation risk from happening. So TRU2X is a protocol where people can deposit the gas token of a chain, PLS, and get eventually, if they wait long enough, get a 2X out of it. How we do it, these are a lot of details. Rest assured, there were many questions or problems to identify, to be addressed, neutralized, or turned into the opposite, into a positive. There are also mechanisms why there is no first win or first come, first win, or first come, max win mechanism is in place. Actually, every day new the cards are, or the opportunity to ROI faster and better than other people who were before you earlier is provided. So that's basically it. A double your gas token or a gas coin protocol. And how that works, these are details. We can always present maybe a few of it during the stream. But in short, deposit the gas coin off the chain, get 2x out of it. And that is a guarantee. It's not guaranteed how long it takes, but the projections for the past 40-day deposits over the thumb, they are pretty sweet. That might be possible more than once a year, probably even twice a year, but we can't lean out the window too far, and no announcements on the duration or how long it takes. Double your gas coin protocol.
Yep.
That's basically it.
That's it. And we built this. Like I said, it took over 2 years of development. And though our UI is not fancy, it's not shiny, it's MVP, but it is very functional, and it does all the heavy lifting for us. But with TRU2X, like Daniel said, you have an opportunity to double your gas coin, in this case PLS. We have metrics at the top, and you go to our main page of the auction lobby of TRU2X, because TRU2X is an auction lobby type system, meaning when you make a deposit, you bid on shares, and those shares represent your weight of ROI and investment return on any given day that you deposit. Because we have a 24-hour cycle that TRU2X goes through, and we have 15 hours and 52 minutes left before the cycle changes over to the next day. We are currently on day 62 in the program. And over the past 62 days, 303 billion pulse has came through our system. And today alone, we distributed 1.1 billion pulse to the miners who are participating. So in the system, in the mechanics, there is yield being generated and delivered to the users. And we have over 26,846 miners currently mining pulse in TRU2X. And each of these miners receive a portion of this 1.1 billion, and they are earning their ROI. As Daniel said, some days, like in fact, day 1 and day 2 depositors actually have a slower ROI rate than day 20 and day 19, day 28 depositors, because of how the share system works. And so we can get that in a minute, but this is the overview. As when somebody comes in to a TRU2X, they can make a deposit. And since this one already has a deposit made, there's an enter lobby button. You make a deposit, and today I deposit 1 million pulse this particular wallet. And then what happens is tomorrow, when this day ticks over, this pulse, this miner card, this deposit card turns to a miner card down here, and a little orange chevron will appear. And when you click it, it'll be orange. It says mine pulse. And then the following day, on the miner page, it'll show up as a miner, detailing how much pulse you deposited, how much you've earned, how many shares of that day you deposited you acquired. This tells you the information about how the system works and what you're getting. And on the table on the right, tells you what your current X factor is for that day. And you can only earn up to a 2X. That's it. So no matter what day you enter, day 1 to day 60, you can earn no more than 2X. And the day 1 people will not earn any more than the day 60 people in total. They may be a little faster, but they won't earn more. And that's a key distinction. One of the problems we solved is keeping early people soaking up all the yield. Because if you remember, in some old systems of the past, typically the early guys, they got all the yield, and everybody else was exit liquidity. but not True2X. There is there will be no one left holding the bag because everyone's shares are treated equally in the system. And so day 60, day 1, your shares all treated equally. Everybody gets fed from the same plate, so to speak. And then when people do 2X, they leave the system with their shares, and the system is lightened, it has less liabilities, and then the remaining people get a faster ROI. So that's kind of a brief overview of TRU2X on the top level. You have any questions, AJ? I'm sure I'm not to get too involved with some of these details. It gets pretty complicated quickly.
Yeah, no doubt, brother. And again, I'm pretty familiar. I've been involved since day one. I get the mechanisms, but just to keep it friendly to the audience, I think some of the big takeaways from what you just said is there is no token, meaning you're not relying on inflation, you're not relying on any existential factors of a token. It's literally pulse in and pulse out. The capped 2x is, like I said, really bullish because and you said it a little bit, but just to clarify, when people are paid out that 2x, their shares disappear, and so that essentially allows the other guys and gals that have shares to be paid out, quicker or faster or as the flywheel spins. So those are really, really cool mechanisms that again are bullish for the whole economics of how it works. So and I guess too, just and Daniel, I'd love to have you go into more detail too, but what we have seen, I guess maybe jump in a little bit to obviously we're specifically talking about how the real yield plays in, but is there dev fees, is there a yield split on what goes into what you guys call the SRE, I think, or that basically your economic engine? So yeah, maybe go into all that.
Yes. So when Neil and I met like 2.5 years ago, and we started developing that and discussing, having a conversation about this, a first conversation. The very first point was, where does the yield come from? Right? Where, and this is what everyone right now is thinking. Okay, nobody's a magician, except politician. So where does the yield come from? And the yield needs to be generated. So in order to deliver more than 1x to someone or to an entire platform and community, you need to have a source for whatever is above the 1x, what people deposit. Otherwise, it's a Ponzi if you don't work with external yield. And we unponzied the Ponzi by using a significant part, around 10-ish% of every day's deposit. You see those 303 billion that has been that were deposited. You see it in the dashboard on screen. Around 10% of that were used to invest in DeFi infrastructure products, basically into products where people were willing to pay a fee in order to use those products. It's not trading. We are not trading. That wouldn't be sustainable, too much risk, and we're not jeopardizing user funds. So we are investing into yield-bearing DeFi products, services, and earning. And I think yesterday, Neil can tell us in a minute how much he deposited today into our protocol from the revenues we made. But it's significant. It's around 10% of the daily deposit volume is already coming back in yield, in externally generated yield. So let it sink in for a second. 90% of user of deposits coming from users. 10% of the total daily deposits is coming in from generated yield, which does not have any or create any obligations on the platform. It is satisfying user deposits on their way to a 2x, and I think this is significant. And the mechanics are very simple. As every day 10%, around that amount, are used to add to the investment volume we have and to the opportunities we are seeking constantly, more and more funds are coming back. So they are slowly taking over. Um, they are on the way to take over the majority of daily deposits. Yield that is not creating obligations on the platform, not demanding a 2x, but basically is there as a net injection for users' way toward their 2x. I think that's a point that needs to sink in for a moment.
Yeah, no, I love it, Daniel, and you're right, man. To have it already be at about 10% of the daily deposits that again we use the word flywheel, but essentially, assuming that yield only grows from either our bonds or any of the other income generating uh, mechanisms you have, which we'll also get into in a minute, but that speeds it up because now you go from 2xing in maybe a year to 2xing in 6 months and maybe even 2xing in 3 months, as that continues to grow and so on and so on. So yeah, I mean, we utilize that with one of our other protocols called Plasm, but we do it with a burn mechanism. You guys do it with just pure rewards to all the earlier participants. So yeah, man, I love it. I think that was a great overview. Neil, maybe again, just go a little bit more into what other protocols you're doing. We can touch on the True2 Farm as well, and then yeah, kind of how you manage, or for lack of a better word, the yield engine on your side for sure.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, all right. So today, we were able to deposit 120 million pulse into the auction lobby. That was today's deposit, and that deposit has gotten increased every day because the SRE has gotten bigger every day because of the mechanisms and what Dan said with the 10%. And so, as we've grown the financial capabilities of the SRE, we've increased our ability to deposit and to therefore bring value back. And in the places we'd be looking for, the first place we had partnered up with was EMET Farms. If you're not familiar with them, they're a pulse chain farm, and unlike other farms, their token has secondary utility that's emitted. So it's an emission token, but you can single side stake it for earning DAI. And that was a very brilliant concept that the founder Karos come up with. And we saw it for a long time, and way before we had launched, I talked to Karos about his systems and asked him all kinds of technical questions and stuff. And it's just a master fork from the original. It originally came from the Pancake Swap stuff on BNB, right? And then it was forked, and eventually ended up in PulseX, and then he forked it, and then improved upon it with the system. And so then we got with him and ended up forking EMIT to have True Farm, which is just a fork of EMIT. It's got a few little bells and whistles different, nothing major, just a minor change in percentages. But it's all in all, it's a carbon copy. And it allowed us basically to double or more than double the amount of income from the SRE into the system. And then as we were gathering up value, I got with you, and then we looked at the DexFi. And because of the time it takes to manage vaults, the bond program is very, very interesting and enticing to us because we're looking for external yield. And we're not limited to Pulse Chain. We are a cross-chain platform. We are not chain specific, nor are we protocol agnostic. And we are protocol agnostic, and we can work with anybody. We have a lot of partners. As you can see here, there's all those partners on the screen that have partnered up with TRU2X to assist them set their communities earning yield too. We can get that in a minute. But right, and we also use Vouch, which is a validation protocol that's on Pulse Chain, which we basically by proxy run validators through their system. You earn yield that way. There's Rhino5, we use their system as well. So there's several things out there that people who are willing to pay a fee to have a service done, we get a part of that fee because we are invested in that. That's what real yield is. So it's not just robbing people to PayPal, and it's not a gambling on a risky asset trade or anything like that. It's service yield in the system. And when Tetra launches, we'll have Tetra tokens for that as well. So this is what we've done, and this is how we've solved the loop problem by getting outside funds into the system. And so we are, and we're always seeking other places too. We're always looking for opportunity, things that have been tested, vetted, monthly paces, and so we're really pleased so far where we are, and there's always room to grow. We'll continue to do so.
Yeah, no doubt. I love it. And the fact that you are diversifying, the SRE or your version of, treasury, for lack of a better word, is bullish. Again, validators, our bonds, your own farm, all those things, again, are all adding to this flywheel and allowing you to again reach 2x even quicker. And honestly, you guys were the first movers. I mean, in terms of utilizing our bonds. We've been utilizing concentrated liquidity providing for literally years through Dex Finance, and when we merged about 2 years ago, we always said, hey, let's do the easy button or a done for you option. We implemented that about 9 months ago, and you guys are really one of the first protocols to really build on top of it. And for us, that is going to be a big way that we scale, and it truly is a win-win for everybody because now it's a plug-and-play mechanism to bring real yield to any project. And you guys, again, were a first mover in that mindset. And now I'm hearing it all over. It's funny how it works. Like the next wave is this true yield and real yield, external yield narrative, and here we have been working on that for since day one. So that's super bullish. And again, to bring it back to EMP just for a minute, we are a partner, and you guys actually use part of the yield to buy ESHARE, right? Maybe go in a little bit into that, and then I don't know. Again, maybe a little alpha for everybody, but maybe moving to other chains or really maybe expand on what you said earlier about being not or chain agnostic, and being able to kind of grow this into even a bigger ecosystem.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you. Yeah, we are very glad that we can work with the bonds and your services, and this is actually the bridge I would like to only have 1-2 sentences before I pass it to Neil. But what you can see, these are so-called partner communities. They can be, and they should be, from different chains. Again, token agnostic, the word comes again. Another definition of what TRU2X is, or True DeFi in general, we are a redistribution service of service fees that are generated in the DeFi space to users and entire communities. That is basically the one-liner. So service fees or service revenues, such as from the bonds, such as from the farms. There are service revenues and fees that are harvested by our system and is redistributed. This is basically the external yield, and we found a way how to even bring revenue, intrinsic value, actual yield from outside of their ecosystem to all of our partnering protocols of these cards that you see there. Everyone can actually tap into the possibility, besides their own closed loop mechanisms, to tap into self-reinforcing additional yield that is coming from outside and can be claimed by every one of their holders of a partnering token. That means if someone participates on a user, for example, of the token X epsilon, the token X epsilon wants to partner with us. What that means is they receive a card. If a user, 1, 2, 5, 10 strong users are using our platform TRU2X, that token X epsilon receives actually premium allocation. It's not taken from the user, it's just printed. However, users, every holder of token X epsilon can come in the future after a certain mechanism happened. They can come in the future and unconditionally can claim tokens of their community, of XY, token XY, because we go create revenue for our partners, go market buy their token, and make it available for free claim in ratio to their holder share. So this is, in a nutshell, the partner program. What people want to understand is the partner program is there to bring value, actual value, service fee revenues that are generated in the DeFi space to our partners, not only to us, but also to our partners.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love it for sure. And yeah, I don't, again, Neil, I want you to elaborate too, but I just wanted to clarify too that this is really cool in the fact that it is a true win-win, meaning whether you can just go into True2X to generate a 2X for your own project or your personal project or your personal bags or your treasury, and because of the integration of bonds, that also feeds bonds. So it really is this like sustaining loop, even on that front as well. So I just want to kind of highlight that. And yeah, I know you can probably go into more detail, Neil, but that's something that we were talking about earlier. The best sort of arrangements are where both parties win, and that is exactly what we have here with you guys again integrating all of this.
Yes, and that's exactly right. So here's a good example. Let's say I'm just a user, and I have capital, and I'm already in the bonds. Let's say, and I'm making some stable coins. I said, well, you know what? I want to diversify my holdings, but I have some ESHARE too. I wish to pump. So I'm like, well, I can go and in True2X, make a deposit. Say, I take some stable coins, swap the pulse, make a deposit. I use the 124 ID for ESHARE, and then that deposit will 2X eventually. And when it does, 25% of those profits will go to buy that ESHARE from the market without me doing anything else. I get my 2X, ESHARE gets his cut of the share rate that was on my deposit, and then it's bought from the market. And then therefore my bags are pumped, my ESHARE bags. Then I have a 2X now. I can go back to the bonds and double my deposit. And it takes some more profit to do it again. Now imagine this. Imagine a scenario where then everybody says, you know what, I'm going to take say 20% or 30% of my revenue, I'm going to come double it, and I'm going to pump ESHARE. And what would that do to ESHARE price, right? Because eventually what you're going to have is an army of miners that will be basically 2Xing every single day that will come or every week that will come to maturity. And during this process, they'll be buying the ESHARE off the market. So you'll have regular buying power outside of the users having to use their capital to buy. And no charge because it's free. It's free to do. It costs them nothing to do. And that's the reciprocity that we have between any of our partner projects, especially in this case with DexFi, because now we have two different chains bringing value back and forth. And that's doing crypto, right? It's growing your bags, and you're not giving up anything. You're just changing how you're earning your yield and bringing it back to the thing that you may prefer. And in this case, if you have other tokens or other partner projects, what Daniel said that are in here, when time comes, just claim them for free. So this service is something that we hope that it will catch on and people will realize how beneficial it is, because when these things start happening and they start coming to maturity and they start buying these tokens off the market, eventually you're going to have some serious buy pressure, because it's not one-time buy. When you make a deposit, that buy goes through and it is compounded at a 75% rate. So those shares that are generated that turn into the miners, they compound at a 75% rate. So you'll get the first buys, then it'll come back again next cycle, do another set of buys. They do it again the next cycle, do another set of buys. So you have forever perpetual buying from one deposit.
Yeah, it's really bullish. I love the design again, and you guys, we touched on it earlier. Some people may be familiar with these sort of, True2X type, or T2X type protocols. But you've even improved upon that, as well. And, what you just said, the way share rates are calculated, the way you've now integrated a partner, again, for lack of a better word, affiliate program that is actually sustainable and not hurting the protocol. Like, those are great additions overall. And I did get a question real quick, Neil, and then again, Daniel, feel free. to jump in here, but they're asking basically, is there a methodology on how you determine what to put the SRE in? Is there again a formula, or is it just basically continuing to diversify and maybe prioritizing what has the best yield at the current moment, things like that?
It's more about security than anything, and stability. It's not. We're just not going to put it anywhere. So very, very picky. Hence the reason you and I had a long conversation about your stuff, and you've
For
always
sure.
obviously had have all your stuff been out 9 months and stuff like that. You've already been put it through the ringer and proven to be true and stuff like that. Same thing with the farms, with emit stuff. I had many conversations with Karos before we forked our own copy as well, and we still support emit every day too. So it's still being supported and utilized by the SRE, and as well as validators and stuff like that. Those are all vetted projects. But eventually we'll go to things like, we'll probably eventually expand out, the Aave curve and stuff like that with some yield generation. But the problem with those are they pay very, very little. I mean, they're only paying 8 to 10% at most on a lot of those deposits, right? Even with blue chip things like Ethereum and Bitcoin, you don't get a whole lot of return for your deposits. But we're able to generate, like in our farm, up to 300% APR in single side staking. I think emit's over 100%. Y'all are about average about 70 to 120% with the bonds, and then in TRU2X itself actually has anywhere from 300 to 800% APR on certain deposit days, depending on how heavy the deposits were. So we're generating a lot of APR ourselves and using a lot of APR throughout the system with SRE. So these are the things it's hard to see that because we don't have it like APRs listed on our tables, but it's actually really, really high compared to, other things like, Aave, which gives you, 5% or something like that. And so that's kind of another thing that, people are starting to catch on. Like, this is actually pretty fast. Like you said, if you could do it twice a year, right? That's pretty good. It's a pretty good chunk. Double your bags twice a year. It's not bad. That's not, it's really hard to do that just about anywhere, especially with, the way systems are designed, and almost always comes some kind of risk with the permit laws, whatever. So we mitigated that by not having a token and not utilizing anything that would give a permit loss risk. So the user themselves only have to worry about, in this case, pulse and doubling it how often they can within the system.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I love it. So, all right, awesome. Anything to add to that, Daniel, before we jump on to some other alpha and a little bit more? And then I know, we're going to try to keep it about an hour today, but yeah.
Not much to add, but it's funny that you mentioned protocols like T2X. Yes, it was the only thing that inspired us actually referring to or looking back at T2X back then. Whoever knows that, it was the enthusiasm, it was the euphoria, it was the dynamics of that community, and nobody wants to miss the first 3 weeks. So it was very inspiring what community dynamics and power and we all gonna make it atmosphere was there. In general, I'm very, very pleased and happy that we as former users, we now meet as founders, as developers, and we can harvest basically from the experience that we have, and can now see that we can bring quality products together. And AJ, I really appreciate your part in the entire crypto scene and niche. So I'm looking forward for more collaboration. This feels good. This is by facts. It's good. How it crystallizes out, and we have, I think, the same principles that we apply. So in that regard, I think we can move mountains here.
Yeah, no doubt, Daniel. That means a lot, brother. And it is full circle, man. Like you said, from DeFi users 10 years ago to community admins and now project leads. It's pretty crazy how it all comes together. And just to comment on your guys' due diligence. I mean, it's also 100% true. I mean, Neil and I have been going back and forth basically since the protocol launched on trying to integrate bonds. You guys definitely want to make sure there's a track record. Obviously, all of our contracts are audited, and have been safe now since we spun up bonds. And yeah, I mean, again, I think us even utilizing some of these strategies, we've been building positions already in TRU2X with some treasury allocations, and it's just really powerful when all these puzzle pieces come together and are compounded on each other as we grow. So yeah, I don't know, Neil. Again, I don't know how much alpha we can drop, but are you guys? Is there plans to go cross chain? Either with TRU2X or maybe with the True Farms. Do you have anything? Well? Give us some alpha, man. We can't have an AMA without some alpha. So yeah, let me know.
Yeah, we are actively looking at taking the TRU2X tool, which is a tool and technology that we've invented, to other chains. Which chains we're going to first? It's to be determined. We're looking at Solana and others. It's a technical hurdle to go to other chains that are non-EVM. So obviously Solana is a Rust contract, so language. We have to kind of do a lot of work there, but the farms, yes, we're looking at expanding them to other chains as well, and that's will be to be determined, to be announced later on, in very, very probably near future. But it just we'll some development things we have to do to take care of on our side before we make these jumps. But as of now, though, we're really pleased where we are with what's happening so far, and as we expand, obviously we'll still have to have more partnerships and reciprocity with like protocols like DexFi and stuff to continue to grow and expand.
Yeah, 100%, brother. Well, and again, I know, the only reason, again, I think people like to see more building and more additions is obviously it opens up your reach. It adds more to this yield engine. Again, the SRE, everything you're doing, and I'm excited for that because again, you guys get it. The product market fit and where it's best applied. And yeah, I mean, even if it just stayed on Pulse as it is, it's really powerful because again, as that SRE grows, the 2x gets quicker and quicker and quicker. So awesome, man. Well, again, I guess just a little more loose ends. If people want to jump in, I know, and I'll let you guys give your input. I know we've been using the Liberty Swap bridge. Are you still recommending that? Or if people are on Base or Binance or any of those, what is the best way to bridge over? And then just maybe go on just a really quick overview of how to get involved and start minting.
I use a Liberty Swap bridge every day personally because it's the most efficient way to go from what I'm doing with DexFi and back. So I think that is probably one of the most efficient ways. And now that's obviously a fee. Don't get me wrong, but if you're on another chain, though, I know the Pulse Chain bridge is a fee-free bridge going in, so you can use that, but it takes time. I think up to 30 minutes to process those transactions. So Liberty Swap's way faster. So if you want something pretty quick, Liberty Swap's the way to go. You have to do your own education on how to get to Liberty Swap based upon the tokens it has. I know it has Base, Arbitrum, I think some BNB stuff. You have to check and see. But you can always use like a Uniswap if you need to go from, say, ETH, wrapped ETH, or any of those other tokens. They have their own cross-chain swap as well. And I use that also because some of the pairs don't always line up with Liberty Swap.
Yep, perfect. All right. And then again, I mean, now, even though Pulse Chain has been a little finicky, I know that you, Ravi and MetaMask still support everything. And then once you have your PLS on Pulse, you go to the mining tab, right? Maybe just show that real quick, Neil, for people that just want to jump right in.
Sure. Yeah. Once you have Pulse in your wallet, you come. There'd be a button here that says Enter Lobby. When you click it, you enter how much you want to enter in. This little window pop up and say Enter Lobby. You put the amount of Pulse in and the ID number that you want to utilize. In this case, y'all would want to utilize 124 for eShare, right? And you hit enter lobby, and then this pink card will pop up, and then show you how much Pulse you've entered here. And then 24 hours later, when the next day turns over, that card will come down here. It'll be a little orange, a green card that says, how much you have in shares for your deposit, and you can enter the mining lobby from that point, mining pool from that point. You say mine Pulse, you click the button, the window would pop up, and you can mine Pulse from there. And then you will end up then on the miner page with the miner. Let's see if I have one. Yeah, like so. Right now, this is today's miner that won't start activating until tomorrow. And you says how much I deposited, how many shares I had in this wallet, and then once 24 hours happens, it pops up here, and then it tells you what you have, what you've earned so far. So like 2 days ago, I've earned a 0.0163x on my deposit, or 16,000 Pulse from my 1 million Pulse deposit so far. And then if I wanted to do something like compound or whatever, I would click this button, and then there's options here available for compounding. And then once you get close to exiting time, you can exit as well.
Perfect. Yes, yeah, no doubt. Yeah, go ahead, Daniel.
Yeah. Just half a sentence. And don't forget to set your favorite community token.
Yeah, right.
Right. Don't forget ESHARE, right? Yeah.
Yeah, right up here. See, right up here, once you get on the miner page, since I've already got these set, this whole page set, what it is, when you come here and you first do this, you come up to this little spot here. It says Set Community. You click the button, you scroll down, and you'd find eShare. Oop, there it is. And then you hit Set, and then it would set the entire wallet to support eShare. And then it's locked into the UI and all. And so every time you make a deposit, that 124 should show up on all your cards that you have, just like this one says REF 9811 for True Farms. Yours, you show 124 here for eShare. That's how you know you're getting eShares, you're getting the credit for the deposits.
Perfect. Yeah, 100%. Well, and again, just on that note, obviously today was kind of a high-level overview of why this is so bullish, but you guys are doing an amazing job with videos, tutorials, again, the compounding strategies. We don't have enough time. It'd be a whole nother AMA, and we can do a follow-up AMA for sure on some of the advanced strategies. And Daniel, I think you're in the VC, the voice chat of Telegram, 8 hours a day, I think. So yeah, I would encourage everybody to join over there. Maybe plug that real quick. What's the best way to get in touch? Obviously Telegram or X. Yeah, let us know.
Telegram is the best because this is occupied all the time. Yeah, of course we're checking here and there on either Neil's or on the main account on X, but please visit the Telegram channel if that is, or group, if this is okay for you. Some people don't like to use Telegram, but majority does. We are basically in 24-hour shifts. We show presence. As you can see, for me, it's early morning, so we have actually to EST 12-13 hours time difference. That means we are 24 hours there, and we believe in not customer service. We are in DeFi. There are no customers, but we believe in education, and there is no one better than our admins or ourselves who can basically go into the nitty-gritty, depending how far someone wants to go down the rabbit hole. If you have simple questions how to connect, no problem, we are there. You want to know why the protocol works, we can talk 3-4 hours about it. And there are many things to understand why it works, actually. But let's stay on bird's eye view here. Let's zoom out. And if you want to come over to understand more, please join the Telegram channel, because we have here and there a lot of educational posts, things that good to know posts, important to know, important to understand, profitable to you are more profitable if or your activities are more profitable if you understand it. And at the same time, we need to see how we can actually encourage our community to check out DexFi, and so that we can actually work a bond together in a reciprocal manner, and it's not a one-way road, right? But
Yeah.
on the other hand, if you from eShares or if you're coming over here, or whoever watches it and is using the 124, I think that is the community ID of eShares. If you use that ID, this will turn out to be future buy pressure on eShares, and also the possibility that everyone in the community can claim, regardless if they interacted with TRU2X or not. And the good thing is, if people claim based on their holder ratio, they have zero incentive to sell. They want to have more and more and more, because next week they can claim again, and they can claim again, and they can claim again. It's not like an airdrop or something where people get this little bonus and then dump it to have a little buy a Easter bunny. They basically building they're built on their leader board, on their ranking. So people have an intrinsic demand on holding, and maybe even increasing their holder share. So get involved, do more crypto. That's basically where we came from, and we established this as a part of our slogans and mottos. Don't watch from the sidelines. Don't get into the lethargy that some people get when the market goes down. This is the best time in the market, because that is where we can make use of our dollar value, if we come with dollar value, and do more crypto. Check out,
I love
learn.
it.
Don't jump
Uh,
into everything, but
yeah,
be the
100%,
pioneer again.
Daniel. Yeah, no doubt, brother. Again, you hit the nail on the head, and it's us that are here during the brutal bear markets. This is where the wealth is created. I mean, again, the age old saying of buy low, sell high. Unfortunately, 90% of people do the exact opposite of that. But yeah, I mean, and also it's a perfect segue to end on too. You guys, us, all of the partner protocols, we're doing all of this in a market that has only gone down, and Pulse is even amplified on that respect. So just imagine when we do get a bull run, and when things turn around and interest comes back to crypto, and now all of us here that have been building are poised and ready to capture all that. I mean, those are the sort of things that keep me motivated. Again, we haven't gone anywhere for 4+ years now with EMP and all of our umbrella products. Again, vaults, bonds, fusion, you name it. And again, we may not get it right 100%, but we keep trying, man, and we never go anywhere, and that's all you can ask. And I just love what you guys have done. And yeah, we're gonna be adding our own treasury into the mix. I know you guys are still funneling part of the proceeds into bonds, and that flywheel continues. And yeah, I mean, any community members getting in, utilizing the eShare referral link, that continues to support eShare, and again, the flywheel goes even faster. So, and I did try to post the I don't know if you want to try again, Neil, the Telegram link, but I'll make sure that we can post it too in all of our socials. And I'll add it to the bottom of this video, but I don't know if it went through. Yeah.
I sent to you a private chat, so I don't know if it showed.
Yeah, I tried to copy and paste. StreamYard maybe isn't happy with that, but I don't know. We'll get there, man. So yeah, bro. Again, I appreciate you guys. It's been amazing having you on. Daniel, full circle. Neil, it's been great getting to know you better over the last few years. We don't go back quite as far as Daniel and I, but it's been great, man. And you guys both have a great head on your shoulders to push TRU2X forward. So, anything else we didn't cover that you maybe want to add? And we'll definitely do a follow up AMA in a few weeks with some updates for sure.
I would say, look, just don't sit idle on your tokens. Do something with them. If you're just sitting on hold a bag and it's not earning you anything, you're basically selling yourself short, and that's opportunity cost you're wasting. Just do crypto like Daniel said. Do something with them, earn yield. There are opportunities out there somewhere in crypto, whatever suits your fancy. Whether it's just depositing and like something like a savings thing, but here with high, triple digit APRs on all our protocols. Between DexFi and the farms and TRU2X, I mean, you shouldn't be not making money. I mean, you should be making money right now in DeFi. That's what it was built for. That's why we built all this stuff, is to make money, not just to sit idle and waiting for the price to move in the market.
Yes,
I love it. 100%. Daniel, give us some final words, brother. Yeah.
Not much more. But we are not only for crypto, not only for the immediate money here. Crypto technology is here to stay. So everyone will need to know fundamentals in the future. We need to know about it because it will be essential part of the entire economy, infrastructure of everything. So to learn more about it is not only to earn more, but it's also to be ahead of the curve in the future. Because the next cycle comes, and you want to be an OG as well by then. So get involved, and I think it's a pretty thrilling topic. Entire crypto, do more crypto, and I think you are with the right people here, and with AJ, I can only again, best references to you. Great host, great developer, great community leader.
Thank you, brother. That means a lot. Yeah, right on, man. No, the feeling is mutual. So, all right, guys. Well, that'll wrap it up for today. We will do one in the future. Please, everybody that joined us, make sure to follow socials, learn about TRU2X. Again, what we say all the time, we'd much rather have people learn before getting into the protocol, so they can make it work for them and work for everybody else that much better. And you guys are pioneers in again, the availability of explaining the protocol to people. I'd say even better than we do. So anyway, thanks, guys. We'll see you soon, and cheers to everybody that showed up.
Bye bye.